Oh boy, we're all here, right?
We're all here. We're all
For
ready
now.
to go.
Hey, look how nice.
Now, dude.
It looks so high quality, high class.
It is high
It looks a
quality.
little warm though.
It is a little.
I was gonna say it looks a little high. I know that type. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the pregame show. Presented by Miller Lite. What time is it, boys?
No time.
Miller time. Is it Miller time?
It's moving
Let's
time.
drink a few Millers. Why don't we?
Why not?
We're also the Toyota Lounge, driven by your Front Range Toyota Stores. Toyota, the official vehicle of DNVR. Nuggets taking on the Pelicans tonight, starting a homestand. Nuggets starting a little homestand here. Great opportunity to get some momentum. It'll span the All-Star break. We got to get it going. There's also a big trade. I don't know if you guys have been on the interwebs lately.
Nuggets?
No, not the Nuggets, but another team made a weird trade that blew my mind.
Looking forward to it.
Brennan Votes in the building.
And the Denver Nuggets, who did not trade Nikola Jokic. By the way, remember the trade Jokic is the right thing to do stuff.
Win.
No, I'm just saying that's just how some people like to get like when the season
Oh,
gets.
right,
I'm just saying,
yeah.
ask a Mavs fan if
Yeah.
like, trust me, man, this is. It's precious. Enjoy every second of it. You don't want your guy anywhere else but right where they are. And Jokic will play tonight. There's an early game note for you.
Great vibes. Over here, I got D-Line Co.
Yes, since last time we spoke, like everything's on fire. The NBA is a completely new place. It is right back to where it was.
So true.
Full of inequity, lots of mistreatment,
Yeah.
lots of favoritism.
Yep.
We're back.
Yeah, we are so back, baby. Rounding out the show, Superstar Dev.
The NBA world as we know it has changed. I think this is pretty crazy that the last few days have went how it has went. Like, I really was in true shock.
Yeah, dude. It's,
We all were. Harrison published our secret chat. Everybody very surprised that I cursed in our secret chat.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, people very surprised by that.
It's
Wow.
secret, you know. There was an intended audience for the
There
curse.
was. It was the people
actually
here.
it was the people
They're
in the
like,
chat.
oh, potty mouth
I mean,
Adam
look,
over here.
You cuss?
Well, sometimes when I'm very,
when you find
felt
out
right.
that there was look, when you think about what it would take for the Jazz to get back in this thing, like a trade like that, it just leaves you stunned. So
There you go. We're going to talk about that later on in the show, but we're talking Nuggets on this show. We already talked about the Luka trade, but we will get into it probably more on the postgame show as well. But first, the Nuggets taking on the Pelicans. What do you have for us, Vote?
I've got some game notes that are chock full of some injury report updates, unfortunately, fellas. And you may have seen earlier in the day, Peyton Watson popped up on the injury report with a right knee sprain.
Yeah.
He's out, and he's going to be out for some time. It may be 4 weeks, or I think that's the designated time there. So Michael Malone did say he wasn't expecting it to be 4 weeks. He's a little surprised, but that's the time frame right now for this right knee sprain.
I'm just going to say this. I've heard. Wouldn't be surprised if it was less than that. Might be 4 weeks. I don't want to get anybody's hopes up, but I don't know that this is one that people are afraid of. But it's like, hey, let's set a timetable here.
Could just be more of like, look, knee sprain, here's a standard chunk of time.
Yeah.
We'll see how he comes back from it. Look, the Nuggets will be without Peyton Watson, which is a significant enough blow to their defense and their depth. Of course, it's not the only injury. We know Russell Westbrook is out as well with a hamstring strain. No time frame on that one, says Michael Malone. We did get an update on Aaron Gordon, and it's a bit confusing. It kind of goes in a couple different directions. Malone did say that the calf issue for Aaron Gordon is probably something he will be dealing with for the rest of the season. He did also say he doesn't think it's that serious, and they think that he's going to try to play on Wednesday. They mentioned having played in the recent back-to-back, obviously, and they're trying not to push it here. So just the calf has been a lingering issue since preseason. Malone expects it to linger all season, and yet at the same time says he doesn't think it's too serious. Aaron Gordon will try to play again on Wednesday, but for tonight, for Monday night, he is out. So if you think about it, no Aaron Gordon, no Peyton Watson, what does this bring us to? How about Zeke Naji? And Malone had this to say. I thought Zeke was incredible against Charlotte. After going back and watching the film, he was outstanding on the defensive end of the floor. He's probably going to get another shot here, fellas. So buckle up for more Zeke.
Is he going to start tonight, actually?
I would do it. I would do it.
You got to go against Zion, man.
And Michael Malone is setting the table. It's February 3rd.
If you guys do see starters for me, let me know.
I'll give you starters for Pelicans real quick. CJ McCollum, Javonte Green, Trey Murphy, Zion Williamson, Yves Missi.
Zion's in.
Zion's in. And
He is starting, by the way.
Is it out?
Yep, just came
there
out.
you go.
Just dropped?
And that makes sense. I would push that Zeke Naji train right now. You're trying to get him off of the team. This is a time that other teams are going to be looking. You get to go against a Zion Williamson, and you have your coach backing you for the first time in like ever.
Okay.
This
So,
is like
this
you got to
great.
stay ready. I will say this in the Charlotte game. He was sucking wind, man. And the guy's not playing minutes. It's hard to stay in shape. He
Yeah.
was so tired in that one. But credit to him, he went hard. Got a couple blocks, couple dunks.
So Zeke in the starting lineup. Adam just gave you the Pelicans starting lineup. Here's who the Pelicans will be without. Not Jordan Hawkins. He's available, actually. Jordan Hawkins will play along with Zion. Brandon Ingram is out with a left ankle sprain. Herb Jones is out with a right shoulder strain. DeJounte Murray, of course, out with the right Achilles rupture. Sort of a story that got buried under some bigger stories recently. And Daniel Tice is out with a right thumb sprain, which I know is the biggest update for Eric. He was just holding his breath waiting to hear about that one. So a lot of guys out on both sides of the ball, on both sides here in this contest. What will the Nuggets defense look like, fellas? That's the big question. You'd like to think they'd be fine against a team that's lost 5 in a row, that's 26th in offensive rating, 28th in defensive rating, 29th in net rating. But of course, these Nuggets, if they're famous for anything, they might be infamous for losing to just about anyone in the league.
Well, and I would say that Charlotte is not a very good team, and it was a close one.
And it was.
Denver had a chance to put that one away, did not do it, so it became a tight one. We saw the Chicago game. The Sixers game before that. Denver has not looked good for 48 minutes. And now you get back home. You have a little homestand. You should be around your family and friends for a while. To me, it's kind of an important night. They say the hardest game is the last one of a road trip and the first game back home. The Nuggets need to go into this All-Star break with some momentum. They have a great chance. Even with the injuries, they still have a great chance. So my expectation for tonight is I have to see the Nuggets look serious. Even with the shortcomings, I need a serious Denver Nuggets performance tonight because even with those last 2 wins, I don't think they've been having serious games.
Yeah, I mean that's what it's. The Nuggets are now in this new NBA that nobody understands anymore. Aprons and trades and fan bases melting down. Oh my, the Nuggets just need to be the Nuggets, man. It's like. This is the thing that always happens when you go in the off season or in trade season and teams are making moves and you automatically think like, oh my God, they're the team now. Oh, they've got all the juice.
Yeah.
Like the Nuggets have what they need. They still have had what they needed this entire time. It's just about being in the era of professionalism and just going out and performing to the level. Like the thing that's annoying of the last road trip is that they have like looked good in every game for the most part. And they took their foot off the gas 2 separate times, which is like exactly what you don't want to see out of your Denver Nuggets.
Kind of got mollywopped by Minnesota, but I agree with the other.
What does them being serious look like? Because I mean, I don't think it's defense in a game like this.
You don't think they can play it?
I think that we have to shift the idea of what their defense looks like. I do think that, but also like they're missing all of their best defenders in this game.
This is why Trump got in the office. You understand? This is lowering standards.
Times have changed. Like seriously, I do ask like what does that look like? Because I don't think it's just like locking down a team or.
But you know though, because you're right, Deb. I don't know that they're going to hold them to a Munder tonight. I don't know if Nuggets is that's on the menu. But you know when the Nuggets look like they're locked in. I mean, Jokic in particular. You know when he's locked in defensively or at least given effort. And tonight's a game where if they play with the game, they can get burned. And that's all I mean. Tonight, if you play well, I think they get the win. But if they don't, it's going to be ugly down the stretch. And who do you close with, Zeke?
Can I give you a theory you're going to hate?
Yeah.
I think with the injuries and the All-Star break coming up and a kind of weak stretch of schedule, I don't know if this is the stretch where Jokic picks to play first quarter defense. They may just kind of try to play offense from here on out and then try to get some rest. But
yeah, so that would be what I look. Is it more of playing defense or is it more of like let's beat this team convincingly because you're like better than this team? I really do think that you have to pick on what it is that you're going to go with. Because if you're looking for defense, say they put up 120 and the Nuggets put up 130 or 140.
Yeah, it's a win.
But would you be satisfied with that?
I'll take the win however it comes, to be honest with you. But to your point, would I be confident that the Nuggets are back? No. And we, of course, want to feel that just because we're feeling it so strongly before that road trip. And you just want to kind of feel it again. I'll tell you, I play a little mental game that is kind of dumb. It's the dumbest one I do. When there's a rookie going up against Jokic, I always think about those stories about, man, first time, when did you get humbled? I went up against Kobe for the first time, and oh my God. Jokic against Messi this last time, I think Messi walks out of that game as like, that's the MVP? Okay.
Yeah.
You know, like Nuggets win, but Messi had some moments against him and this and that. And I kind of hope tonight is the night that Messi tells on a podcast 5 years from now. It's just personal to me whenever a rookie comes in. I want, like, Jokic, put the fear of God in that man's eyes.
Yeah, and for me, like, what it means is I just want to see them play the game seriously. I don't want to see them, whether that means lockdown defense. I mean, I just don't want to see them go into periods where you're like, what are they doing, dude?
Yeah.
Like, they're just shooting a bunch of threes, turnovers, careless play. They're just and then all of a sudden you find a team that has no business right back in it because you have taken your foot off the gas. Like they just need to put their foot on a team's neck and just like not stop.
There is a chance tonight for Pickett to get real rotational minutes. I know he played in the last one. Get real rotation minutes tonight. Zeke Naji starting. I even think Hunter Tyson plays tonight. You know, you got 3 guys out. That's 3 guys up. So this is a Nuggets group that is trying to break into the league, maybe get traded. But this is a real opportunity, and that alone makes this a little bit interesting.
I hope it helps. I hope you have guys playing harder because they've got this opportunity as opposed to maybe the traditional 8 that might kind of sleepwalk.
Yeah.
Right? Does Hunter play harder? Does Zeke play
yeah.
harder? Jalen Pickett play harder on defense maybe. So fingers crossed for that manifestation and not, I think, what we're all holding our breath and afraid of.
So Peyton Watson is out for 4 weeks, or at least that's the report, probably 4 weeks. We'll see how long it takes. There is an all-star break in there, which is nice.
Thankfully.
Because that's 1 week where you're not really missing games. But I'm sure a lot of Nuggets fans were like myself, and when this news came out, your mind immediately went to Zeke Naji 2023. In the rotation, playing good ball, gets hurt, never back in the rotation. Julian Strawther in 2024, playing the best ball of his career, gets hurt. By the time he comes back, it's too late. It's too late. Team's getting ready for playoffs. Nobody back. Unlike those guys, Peyton Watson is already in the top 8, probably top 7 if you ask me, top 7 players. So it's not like he's going to lose his spot. But I've been sitting behind this mic for the last 3 months saying the Nuggets' playoff hopes hinge on Peyton Watson. Unless they make a trade, it hinges on him. And I don't just want him in the rotation. He needs to grow and to develop. And so my biggest thought here, when I think about this Peyton Watson injury, Dev, is it going to be the same script where, man, he was on track to be a really big piece for us, but then that injury happened, and now we're not so sure?
I can see why your mind would go to that. Like if you look at, players in the past, it was Zeke, at times. It was Chanchar. It was
Vlatko.
It was Strawther. It was Strawther. So you've seen this play out so many times that you're like, okay, I get it. The thing with that is they were like battling to get time. They were getting DNPs throughout the season. He's not, getting those. Yes, he's not getting the minutes that you feel like you want for him to develop, but he is getting some minutes. He is part of this rotation. He's one of the real guys on the squad. So they truly do need him. So I think that's a little bit different. We're going to see what they look like without him. I'm expecting bad defense still. So he still has a niche on this, and maybe this is time to sit him down and hey, this is what you need to learn or look at with your timeout. So I don't think that it's the same as those other guys.
He's not going to lose his spot, right, Eric? Which I know Adam isn't saying. But
well, the one thing that you have to consider here is how convenient this is timing wise. He's going to have a week lead up, then the All-Star break. That's 2 weeks.
Yeah,
he's going to come back, and then it's 2 weeks. He probably comes back sooner. So it's there's a chance that it doesn't feel as long as it sounds initially. It's not great, obviously, but I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. There still is quite a bit of time before the playoffs start.
Yeah, but these were when those injuries I mentioned, they were right around the same time. It's not like they were later either. It's more about you wanted him to, the confidence from the team in him going into the playoffs. And now he might only have about 5-6 weeks.
But
of
I
that
think
window to
I
build
do
that.
think that's enough time for him to get back. I mean, I just only because of the way that this season has gone and the highs that he has shown. It's just not going to be pretty ever going into the playoffs with, a younger core, especially the younger core representing your bench and what that looks like when Jokic is off the court. It's a bummer, but I think I think it's actually going to be okay just because of this timing. It actually works out.
It's just every missed game for Peyton is a missed developmental
that's what it is.
opportunity. Yeah.
In broader NBA news, perhaps more important even to your Denver Nuggets, the craziest trade of my life, and I think the second craziest NBA moment, honestly, behind the Kobe news, it happened with Luka Doncic getting traded. Nobody knew about it. Everybody's talked about it for the last 48 hours. You've heard every take, but we haven't talked about it necessarily through this Nuggets lens. Luka Doncic goes to LA. Anthony Davis goes to Dallas. De'Aaron Fox finds himself in San Antonio. LaVine in Sacramento. That's a pretty big Western Conference shakeup. So when you first heard the news vote, what were your, besides pure shock, how do you assess this now for Denver and what it means for Denver, any angle you want to take?
I think there's a chance that this trade has big impacts on Denver's timeline down the line more than this year. Now, Denver has their own stuff to figure out, so that's... Look, the Mavericks have to make the playoffs even, not even kidding. Like, they probably will, but they're in a tough spot in the standings. AD misses games. Do guys want to come to work right now? Right? That's a whole thing. Luka and LeBron is obviously the prospect of it would be exciting for any team. What the Lakers are is a huge TBD. They probably don't even care because they got their future, and that's all that matters. I don't know if either team immediately is like, oh, now there is a particularly worse matchup for Denver necessarily. But that down the line, I think that stuff will all manifest, right? First of all, really, 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 really savvy move by De'Aaron Fox to just, we've seen guys say, look, my time is up. But for him to go, no, he really wanted San Antonio. He wanted
your way.
Man, that's a smart gambit. And look, long-term prospects, giving Wemby an exciting point guard, that's scary. Luka to the Lakers is annoying as anything. And so maybe down the line it affects Denver. I kind of think this year, though, it's more of just literally the most remarkable shuffling of deck chairs in the West. I mean, Luka's far more than that. It's just I think that's more about what it does to the Lakers in the next 5 years than the rest of this season, because I think they're just a big TBD right now.
Yeah. Where do you want to go, D-line?
Well, I think the Mavs are good now. They were good, but I think that this actually makes them quite a bit better.
You really think they're better? You think they're better now?
Yeah, I do.
The Mavs are better.
I think that the Mavs got caught a wave last year, and they got way further than they should have.
That's part of in a loaded conference. I feel like that's part of it.
And I think that their Achilles heel was so obvious the whole time, and it took getting to the finals for it to be exploited so wide open that it was like, it seemed like they were close, but they're so far from winning a title. And I just think that they have to, I think it sucks. I think long term it's a terrible decision, for a variety of reasons to move on from Luka Doncic. But I think that I actually think that they're scarier now. Having Anthony Davis, I think, makes them scarier. I think Luka does a lot of things where it's it all breaks down. Luka, just shoot it and it goes in. I think they have more of a cohesive idea of offense now, where there's a pick and roll thing happening. Kyrie Irving is now the focus. There's a lot of other guys that were just sort of there to be the defensive guys around Luka that actually make sense in the team construction way. I mean, I would never have made this deal. Never, ever, ever. But I actually think once the Dallas sees their team on the court, it's not gonna feel good, but it's gonna feel better seeing, because I think they're gonna start to smack teams, truly. The Lakers, I'm with you, Vaughn. I don't think they care about this year. I think they're just
if they get Miles Turner, will you care? How's Miles Turner available?
Well, Miles Turner to the Lakers is the evergreen rumor.
Yeah, that's
right?
true.
But
Actually,
no, I mean,
maybe we
look, it's not that I don't care. I mean, Luka and LeBron, I care. Who knows what that could look like? But it's just, I don't think the Lakers did this to win the title this year.
Yeah.
You know, 36 hours ago, they were an organization essentially held hostage by LeBron and whatever LeBron wanted to do next. They could, in theory, trade LeBron if they wanted to now.
He
They
has a
won't.
no trade clause,
Sure,
but, yeah.
sure. Whatever. The point is, work with him to get him to Golden
Yeah.
State if that's what he wants. They don't need to please LeBron at every step of the way. They have their future now. So, like, I don't think the Lakers did this for LeBron or for this year. They did it because they can reset with Luka Doncic. As for what they'll be, I mean, I'm not ruling it out. Luka and LeBron together's something, but what is that team? I think that's a big TBD.
You got any thoughts, Dev, on it?
I think I've been arguing with Lakers fans for so many days that I'm like biased on like my take.
You're like, they
honestly,
suck.
because they really are just not seeing anything. They think this is the best thing that's ever happened to them. They're going to win a championship right now. And really, with this Luka news, I think that the Lakers got what they wanted. They needed a superstar for the next 5 to 6 years.
Yeah.
LeBron's on his way out. Who could that be? They get one. And we all know how important the Lakers are to the NBA and how important they are to, like, so much money is behind the Lakers. They need to be relevant. The NBA needs the Lakers to be relevant. So I think that they got what they wanted. I don't think it makes them a better basketball team. So, like, I don't even think they was looking at it from that lens. And then as far as the Mavs, I just feel like they have a 2 to 3 year window and then they're done. And it doesn't make sense. It truly does not make sense that they made this move.
No, of course
I
not.
do think that they could win some games now, but the future is like not brighter with this. It didn't make sense that was the only suitor that they went to is the Lakers, because they could have went to anybody and got anything. Like, I would have started like the Thunder.
Yeah.
You could have got Chet and all type of draft picks or something
Maybe,
along
yeah.
the lines of like, there's just better. So, like, this is, like, just very confusing. And I even tried to listen to parts of the GM talking about it. The things that he was saying, I'm like, yo, this is wild.
Made it worse.
This is
It all made
truly
it worse.
wild. So, I really do think that I'm just in a, I'm wanting it to not work out so bad that I don't have takes yet.
Yeah, to get out of the Denver perspective and address the shock, I honestly, I will put the biggest tinfoil hat on about that. Like, I don't necessarily have theories, but I'm open to anything. Literally, to me, the least likely explanation is the one that we have. Literally, the least likely explanation on earth to me is that the GM woke up one day and just went, Luka for AD is essentially just, that's the trade. That's what we want. That's what we're doing. Whether there was pressure for ownership, there's some weird stories out there about ownership wanting to move it to Vegas. That's very conspiracy theory-ish. But listen, man, nothing makes less sense to me than the explanation they have offered. And the crazy thing is, if you want to say, well, it was ownership. Ownership forced Nico Harrison's hand. Why is he so eager to take the fall? To fall on this sword? He wants everyone to know this was his idea. Man, if ownership made me do this, I'd be up there. You'd be able to read it all over. Nico Harrison wants everyone and their mother to know he's the one who came up with this idea. It's insane to me. So I don't know what's going on, but I literally am open to any explanation other than the one they gave us.
Here's what I'll tell you. I woke up this morning with hate in my heart for Luka Doncic.
I know.
It kind of sucks, but it was true. My feelings, I was like, I just hate Luka now.
It was just like the LeBron
Oh, I
thing.
thought you meant you had hate in your heart on behalf of Luka.
No.
You hate Luka.
I'm telling you, put on that jersey. I used to
Damn.
like LeBron too. You put on that jersey, and all of a sudden,
Right,
I'm
just
like,
It's
you know
so
what?
immediate. Like,
I'm telling you,
really
it's
is.
truly how I woke up.
I
was
really
kinda
started
like, damn,
arguing
Luka.
back at Lakers. This is the worst thing. Like, I don't even know what I was saying
And
it for.
I was
just
like, poor
needed to say
AD.
it.
Poor AD, they did him like that, man. I can't believe it. It's insane. Our pregame picks are presented by Bet365. If you guys want to bet along with us, all you got to do is download the Bet365 app and use the code DNVR365 when you sign up. Choose your offer and find out why. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 21 or older and physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly, and if you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Dev, is this hard to bet tonight?
Absolutely not. It's not hard to bet in this game, and that's why we're going to make some money. The Nuggets come into this
Love
game
that
as
attitude.
10-point favorites. I'm not touching that. I wouldn't even dare tell y'all to touch that. But what I do think is going to happen, I'm going to go with the over of 242, because who plays defense anymore? It just doesn't happen. And
It's the old NBA.
this Nuggets team doesn't care to have it. They're going to just try to outscore teams. Teams are making crazy shots against the Nuggets. Like, it's just, they score when they want to. So, I mean, if you're going to compete, you got to catch up. You got to play fast. And I think that that's what they're doing. So I'm going to go over 242. On the Pelicans side, I'm going to start with. I'm a Trey Murphy fan.
You're a Trey Murphy man.
That
Well,
young,
how could
that
you
young
not
man
be,
is
man?
just so damn good.
He's
is.
amazing.
Dev is charmed by the politeness that
I think
he perceives
He's
from Trey
good though.
Murphy.
He honestly is good, and with no Ingram, no DeJounte Murray, like you've got to see it a little bit more. They're both out in this game, so they'll look for him to score a bit more. He's coming off of a game that he scored 40 in. The game before that, he scored 32. Sign me up for him to score over 22 and a half. Just too low. I also like Zion over 6.5 rebounds as well.
Oh yeah, is it that the Zignaji matchup? Is that doing
That's
it for
the
you?
Zignaji. You could do points plus rebounds. You could do rebounds. But, Zion, he's back. He's still a freak. I'm just going to go. He's still very crazy. Yeah, he's still very crazy.
Are we nervous? Are we nervous about Shotgun? Should we call Shotgun Willies to let him know?
No. They're here for a couple of days. I'm a little bit afraid of Glendale. On the Nuggets side of things, let's just start with the over of 100 ats of 5-5-5-5-5-ish today.
Oh, hell
I just
yeah,
know
dude.
everybody's going to hit him up and let him know his guy is starting. I hope that he plays a lot of minutes.
Dude, I hope he
want him
plays
to break into this.
555 minutes tonight.
I hope so. That's like at least 3 overtimes?
I
least
would go to 70 overtime so we can hit it.
Let's start with where we always start. I'm a little bit scared about this one. Michael Porter Jr. over 2.5 3-pointers. My man's just went 0 for 6 last game, which means he's due. He's just due. They'll likely send doubles at Jokic, so he'll be able to shoot the ball. He has to knock him down. Needs to knock him down. Let's stay there with over 6.5 rebounds. He had 10 last game. He's going to have to work a little bit harder on the boards this game, especially with, I just feel like Eves and Zion are going to be forces on the board. He's going to have to step in and try to get a couple of rebounds as well. I like Christian Brown in this game to do everything. He was sensational in that last game.
He is playing the best basketball of his life
He
right
looks
now.
so damn good. He had 24
like an
points
all-star.
and 11 rebounds. And I'm not expecting him to have that type of game, but 21.5 points plus rebounds, he could get this in points alone. We just saw it. That's easy. That's easy for
Dude,
me.
Browntown is bustling.
I also like for Christian Brown to just get his points at 16.5. He has to score. There's not many scoring options in this game. So I think that it's going to be him, Jokic, Michael Porter. It's the 4 guys. They're going to have to try to score in this one. And I just think that he'll be able to get the 16.5. I also like Jamal over 6.5 assists. He'll have the point guard duties. They'll need him to run the table, but also score. I like him to dish. He'll have the ball in his hands at all times.
Yeah, he will. This is throwback.
I like the assist. This is a wild bet. This is the highest it's ever been. Triple-double minus 165.
I know, man. I
even
saw
looked
that.
on. This is where you're at a good one with Bet365. I looked on FanDuel. They have it at like minus 200 something.
Really? So you got to
Extra
take it.
juice. Like you get better odds at Bet365, and also it's a triple-double. I think it's gonna happen, and it's gonna happen very fast. There's so much scoring. There's a lot of lapses. The Pelicans are one of the worst teams in the league at trying to slow down centers. They have Yves Messi trying to slow him down. Like, it's just not going to happen. I think he's going to get the assist early and just dominate on the boards. I just like this. Our defensive bet is going to be on Joker over 2.5 stocks.
Whoa.
Yeah. He has to
Cookies?
do something. There has to be some type of defense. At least fake it.
I mean, there doesn't have to be.
Fake it till you make it. You can get these steals and blocks. And for our lock,
Are they ever going to make it, by the way? They've been faking it for 10 years.
They could fake it some more.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
you just keep
cool.
faking it
Yeah, keep
until
faking
you
it.
make it. You could double down on the fakes. Press the fake. It's going to be over 24.5 rebounds plus assist for Jokic.
I like that bet.
I mean,
We're
I
going
looked
double.
at the assist by itself. The juice is way too high. It's at like minus 140. He had 15, 16 assists last game. It was something insane.
Yeah.
He could get that. 24.5 rebounds plus assists. If you pencil him in for a triple-double, that's already 20. He's going to have a monster game of one of those. It's been an assist lately, so I just don't expect that to stop. I like that, the insurance on that.
All
That's
right.
it.
There you go. We got some super chats.
Let's take a look at these super chats and we'll go watch some basketball. Ulysses Ventura, MPJ better cook this game or he's gone.
Oh, man.
Not for Zach LaVine. Tell you that. No, it's hashtag shut up and take my money. No Russ, no Calvin, no Josh from down nowhere, no P-wat. In all honesty, why does it feel like we get worse? And with LaVine to Kings, who is MPJ tradable for? Brother, the MPJ tradable conversation has been a month long. It's been out there. Easy E. Zeke Zion trade. Pels, lines, open. Honestly, at this point, call every team and try. Literally, call every team and try your worst trade idea and just see what happens. Peter Duck. Pels are shopping, maybe post-game trade. Just kidding. Or... Joe in Philly. Breaking. The Milwaukee Bucks have traded Giannis Antetokounmpo to the Los Angeles Lakers for a set of 4 Firestone all-season radial tires.
That's actually good. This is a good time of year in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
You need a set of good tires.
And reliability.
Eric actually thinks the Bucks are better off after this trade.
I still told the chat, I'll allow everyone here to apologize to me when this comes to pass. You included, vote. You included.
I will.
No, you won't. You never do.
I literally
No,
do.
you don't. Go ahead, post that.
You're on the list.
The thing is, I very specifically do point out when you're right. Post nut clarity. Dev got it. NBA needs Lakers to be relevant. That's the only logical reason here. Again, fine. Logical reason. We need to admit that what the implication is just explicit collusion, explicit cheating.
Yeah.
Not thumb on the scale, 2 full hands on the scale. There's no scale. So, I mean, agreed, that's the logic of it, but that's a pretty big implication, and it doesn't even seem subtle here. So that's just why it's, when people go, well, it's clearly just the league doing this and that. I mean, that's a pretty big This isn't something we see every day, so it's crazy. But to finish Post-Nut Clarity's point, I can't believe I just said that with a straight... or Luka have a career-altering injury that we don't know about.
Yeah, dude. Wow. Yeah, the NBA has a real special way to just tell you to F off every now and again. You know what I mean? Like other leagues are just like, you're like, oh man, Detroit's good in the NFL. And then they're like, wow, this is going to be cool for a while. It's like, oh, wow, Denver got good or Milwaukee got good. It's like, yeah, it's about time for the Lakers to get good again. Something's going to happen.
It was due. Is that all of them?
That's it.
All right,
We're ready to
everybody.
go.
We're going to go down to the bar, watch the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah.
It's picket time. We're going to start the picket line. We'll see you guys on the other side.
Zion, Babylon.
We all silly like the mayor.